Hi everybody, welcome to the track guide for week 2. Weather for the session is 25 degrees, the track temp of 28, those are all Celsius. To Fahrenheit boys, convert that yourselves. So to start the lap, we want our left tyres on this yellow curbing out here, enable us to straight line the chicane as much as possible. When we come through the chicane, we want to be clipping just the edge of each sausage. Missed it there. I'm still going quite straight, and that line allows us to be very straight at the jump. We want to be dead straight for takeoff and full noise in 6th gear till you launch. When you launch, you will be facing up at the sky. You then use the brake to bring you back down, get the nose pointing down, and throttle to level you off. There's the brake, bring it down, and then throttle up to level it out. You want to land, I just got on the end of the downslope. You go a little bit too far, you can blow an engine, so that is something to be careful of if you give it full send. We've come down nicely, full noise, 6th gear, and we want to be like that, aiming to just clip the right edge of this sausage. We only start to slow down just as we're getting to it, just a bit of throttle off. Clip that, start braking down to 4th, clipping this little part of the sausage there. That helps get it rotated a bit. You can see it move the back out. And start to accelerate hard, clipping this little part of the sausage here. You get this white foam thing, you will get a slowdown. So just clipping just the edge of the sausage, getting onto the curb and the grass here, that's going to have more grip than the dirt. We can get back up to full speed here, very straight away. Ideally you want to miss the sausage at the turn coming up here. I do just clip it on this lap, but if you can just avoid it, it will keep the car more balanced. You'll see I get quite unsettled over that bump there. Roughly using this as a brake marker, and you can come in quite narrow. We're in 5th, starting to slow down on the brakes, not huge brakes. You'll see that I was using the clutch to downshift, as I mentioned in the track guide last week. How I do that is I have a button on the steering wheel which I have mapped to be a clutch, which is 100%, so it's an on-off switch for clutch. I push the button while I'm braking, give it a throttle blip, and I keep braking with my left foot. If you're very quick-footed, you could heel toe it, but for me, this is how I find it to be the easiest. Slowing down as much as you can and trying to be as tight as you can to these tyres. And just to keep the car settled, just starting to introduce a little bit of throttle. That's not trying to accelerate because I'm still braking. It's more just to keep the car happier when it's turning on the asphalt. So you're just keeping that little bit of brake, that little bit of acceleration in there. And then now that I've sighted the exit and the car's still on all fours rather than tipping up onto 2 wheels, I can start to get into the gas a bit harder. 2nd gear is crucial coming out of this corner, particularly on the tight line. You want to be aiming towards this corner here, not clipping it, but because that will damage the wheel and you won't be going any further. Getting in nice and tight so you can get onto the asphalt as soon as you can. I had a little bit of room to play with there. And then it's just flat out up this very long back straight, where a lot more power from this thing would be welcome. You're trying to straighten up this straight because it does have some bends, so I just clip that sausage. I run over the yellow curb up here. Just trying to shorten the distance of the lap as much as possible. Over there, cutting over the grass here and getting nice and close to the pit wall exit. Now as for a braking marker up here, in Rallycross we're braking around about here, depending on the temperature. With this one we can use sort of the end of the joker line, or just before you get there, as the marker to start braking. I'd come out nice and wide. This thing doesn't really like turning on asphalt very much at all. I'm trying to keep momentum up and keep the turning radius as gentle as possible. I go down to 4th, keeping a bit of gas in even while still trail braking, just to keep it a little bit happier. See the wheels are pointing reasonably straight. I got a little bit sideways, but that's pretty good for this car. And back to full acceleration as soon as I can. And then out nice and wide to set up the next lap. That is a 44.05. That's the slow motion from the chase. I go full speed from cockpit view so you can see what that looks like coming up to here and then starting the lap. Full speed from chase. So in the settings, just about that clutch, second clutch, that is a button I've got mapped on my wheel, and I had that query last week. Yeah, hopefully that lap is of use to some of you. I think it looks like my pace from Winton last week, it wasn't elite, but it was pretty solid to be able to win in 2.5k soft, so hopefully this lap is going to be similarly quick. No real point of reference out there, so should help you all find a little bit of time. And if you are quicker than this, you probably don't need to be watching. So I will catch you in the next one.